Hey guys, it's Brandon, aka B.Rich Beauty, aka your beauty best friend, and happy Monday, y'all! We are live talking Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion part 2. Baby, you know what to do. Grab your beverage. Let go. Jeremy.
Brandon. Hello.
How you doing over there, sugar?
I am blessed and highly favored. How are you doing over
Hey,
there?
it's Monday. I'm good. It's busy though, but I'm good. Hey
Mm,
y'all, happy Monday, y'all.
alright.
Jeremy, did you watch part 2?
I did watch part two, and I understand why Mary Cosby did not come to the reunion because they
You
trying to
know,
spoil her good name.
you know what she said, honey. If you come for me, I'm gonna send God after you. So
Yes, okay.
she said, I don't have to show up because God is sitting as my proxy. Okay.
Listen, okay. Well, two or three are gathered in his name.
Hey,
He
come
is
on, Deacon. Come on, Sunday school, McShan.
okay. I was cracking up at Amanda Thomas's comment talking about my favorite Sunday school teacher. I was like, that's hilarious.
Yes, take us down to the water and baptize us in the glory of Mary Cosby. So let's talk about it. Last night's episode kicked off with them basically calling out the elephant in the room. They dedicated a nice, significant amount of time talking about Mary and all of her antics and her Maryisms and everything else. Um, Apparently, Mary likes to send hateful text messages to everybody.
The one she said, Whitney. This is why Mary is not well.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
she's not. Be ready. What's up?
Child, them reunion outfits were horrible. And here's the thing, because I was watching Watch What Happens Live last night with Carson, because Candy's show premiered last night. And Andy asked Carson Kressley about the outfits. And Andy took the words out of my mouth, and it's basically what I've been saying. Standing alone, some of those outfits would actually be nice, depending on if you were going to, a carnival party, a masquerade, a debutante, a Mardi Gras float. It depends on the occasion. Those outfits would work depending on that, but together, all of those outfits collectively made my eyes bleed and hurt my heart because it
Now,
was horrible.
when I had a second look at Jen's outfit, I think if she would have moved the feathers from the front and just had the ones in the back sticking up,
Like a
that would
peacock.
yeah, that would have been cuter because this it covers her face. We can't really see; it's just too big. But I was just like, this dress ain't bad. It just this is too many feathers here, so she can take these here and just keep the ones back here and give us this moment here.
Well, every time Jen parted the red seas of her feathers, her face was so beautifully done, and her eye makeup was gorgeous. But I'm gonna tell you, who was channeling her inner Riddler from the Batman movie was Whitney in this green outfit, and Whitney's makeup just was classic. It was pretty. She had a little bit of like a green wing liner. We didn't see those details because we were distracted by her, her Gone with the Wind outfit. When Scarlett O'Hara takes down those curtains and they make it into an outfit, that was Whitney's outfit.
It was just giving half, like Two-Face. Like one side is like one thing, the other thing is giving, she was dressed for business on one side and party for the other side. Okay.
That also happens when you run out of fabric.
Okay, then maybe that's not what it was.
Now, what about Jen's chandelier gloves? Again, that was so Jen's outfit was perfect for Mardi Gras. We just got through a Mardi Gras, so
Right.
she could have shake and earn some beads, child. But just as a regular outfit, ooh, child.
Yeah, it was not it. And speaking of what was not it, they were not here for Mary and her antics this seasons. And so I thought that was super, super crazy. These mean texts that she was sending. And I was just like, oh Lord, Mary just don't give up.
She read Whitney for filth. Mary and her So here's the thing though, because Mary talks about being a woman of God and being, obviously she's a first lady. Is there, and don't get me wrong, I know people in the church, they're human as well, but Mary being the first lady, repping as hard as she is, don't you feel like that's a little extreme for her to talk to people that way?
Yes, hello. I mean, she was going in, and I don't feel like there was nothing godlike about that. But I just Mary was just going in, and I mean, even if she was not a preacher, like she just was going in. It was just, it was unnecessary. It was uncalled for.
But you know the real shade, Jeremy? Like the real shade?
Real shit.
Everybody got a hateful text message from Mary except Jenny.
Listen, I understand that. Jenny, Heather said because she said it to Jenny's face, and they ask about if her
What?
church. They ask about if her church was a cult, and they all ask, and Jen gives a safe answer. She was like, "I think all churches have some level of like cult." So I'm
Of
like, "Okay, girl,
cultism.
that was safe." And so, and if she thought she was God,
Was Jen's answer incorrect though? You go to the church house, the physical structure of the church house more than I do. But I'm rooted in faith, honey. It's all about God's glory over here. I,
uh,
but what do you think about Jen's response?
let's see. A cult is a system of religious veneration and devotion directed towards a particular figure or an object. So, I mean,
I knew
I
he was going to go
guess,
down to the Google.
I needed to speak with facts. And so, I think depending, I think, some churches can have cult like, characteristics there. I think, sometimes people end up worshiping the pastor, as we maybe see sometimes in Mary's church, more than they're worshiping God. And that is more about the pastor, and they're doing things and worshiping and honoring the pastor in some kind of ways. And so I think if you look at those, I think, you know, that can be the case. I think, we have a lot of people, that believe a certain kind of way and are unable to evolve beyond that and move in through life in a certain kind of way, which I think that's very kind of cultish as well.
So, Jeremy, let's ask this question then. Was that not cult behavior like of having a whole Mother's Day special and tribute at Mary's church, but only to Mary?
So again, I don't know. And I'm gonna answer this question to be ready. So the first question that Brandon has is, I really wish they would explain it. I walked away, like I said a couple episodes ago, is that it was a pastor's appreciation day. And that's what that was. And that usually if it's a pastor's appreciation day, then everything is geared towards showing appreciation to the
To
pastor.
the
So you make
pastor?
special awards and notifications. And now Be Ready asks if Mary and Pop Pop don't make it, is Mary first is still first lady. And so we're gonna have to put some respect on Miss Mary's name, because she is not just the first lady, she is a whole pastor and she's the leader of that church. Pop Pop is the secondary. The grandma was the one that was leading the church, and the so
I
Pop
was going
Pop
to
is
say,
the
it's
first
in Mary's
spiritual man.
bloodline. Like that church belonged to her. The success
Yeah,
of it, the legacy of it, whether it's boarded up or not, belongs to Mary. But
yeah.
at the end of the day, I find it quite weird and potentially a little cult like the fact that it did not look as they called it a Mother's Day tribute. And
Is
the
that what they
only
call it? Yeah, I missed that. Okay.
they called it a Mother's Day tribute, and the only person that was being tributed, wait, is that a word? Tributed? The only
Yeah.
person that was getting the tribute was Mary, as they were talking about how amazing she was in terms of
Oh,
like
so
clothing and the
because
best dress and
it's
everything
so
else.
tricky because we didn't see the whole service, right? And so we don't know what else happened. That they would have, and they would not have shown the other parts because they're not cast members. So they're showing just a cast member. So it's tricky. It is. It's tricky to rock around. To rock around. That's right. On top is tricky. Tricky.
What are
Okay.
you talking about?
Pastor
Who is
appreciation
tricky?
is usually a big day in the church. It is a big day. So I mean, I don't, child, I do not know. But what I do think was real disrespectful was the way they was talking about God rest his soul, Mr. Cameron.
Cameron? Baby, they might as well have astral projected Cameron onto that couch and given him a stool to
Love.
sit upon.
I was just
Okay?
yes, Amanda.
Let's get into teacher Jeremy.
Jeremy. This is a whole mess. The only acknowledged Mary just said they only honored her. She a facsimile of God. Y'all better get into it, okay?
Listen, and
Y'all
that was the other thing. A
get y'all fax machines
facsimile.
ready and turn them on, turn them back on, get them out the closet because listen, God faxed Mary and made her an exact copy of himself. And don't be a hater. Do not be a hater. Get
I'm
the
just so,
number, get on the main line, talk to Jesus, and you become a facsimile of him too.
I'm so blown because not only did they call her a facsimile and she thinks that she is one, I had to Google that word, right? But I was just like, I feel like if facsimile is basically the long word for a fax, right?
Yeah, like a fax machine. It's really a facsimile
Yes,
machine.
I was like
Yeah.
a facsimile. She took me back to 1983. Now, with that, huh?
I said did. She
Now,
did.
with that being said, Cameron, here's my thing about Cameron and the way they use him for a storyline. Again, rest his soul, Cameron. Did he take out $300,000? We will never know because Lisa is now changing her opinion left and right. Lisa is really the ultimate a pot stirrer here.
Yes, and like they said, she likes to set a fire and walk away. Like, oh my God, it's a fire over there. But I mean, I think Whitney did say that's not Mary who thinks she's God, it's the members who think she's God, and that I mean it is the truth. Listen, but how do the members think that she
How
God?
do the members get there? Right.
Into that direction, okay, and having photos of her grandma up in the clouds like that, up in the hallway. It's just like,
Listen, sitting next to him at the throne.
Listen. Take me to the king so I can verify this. Please take me straight to the king.
Jeremy, no. We don't want you to go to the king just yet, okay? I can wait for your verification. Okay.
But so I mean, it's interesting. I also it's the 300,000 compared to now 30,000, which still feels very excessive, regardless if it was 300 or 30,000. Yes, and Lisa is changing her story. That little Tide notebook that she had that was like the Walgreens versions of Monique's notebook binder.
What's the name of the company that does the school supplies? Her binder was so like, bless her.
Where do you even buy a binder like that these days? Can you buy those in the store?
You do. She probably was using her children's school supply and was like, hey, give me your binder real quick because I need to come up here with receipts. But again, her binder was literally the CVS copy of Monique's binder. Okay. Monique's binder came from FedEx, Kinko's. Lisa's binder came from CVS.
Not FedEx, Kinko's though. Okay. Walmart, Target.
Walmart, Target. That's where them binders came from. Okay.
Sleep on Target now. Target is that place. Okay. Target is that she is that girl, Target she's that girl from CAU.
What? Moving on.
That bitch from CAU.
Okay, that's just went over my head. But I'm gonna say this. Now they alluded, and I felt like they danced around this very lightly because obviously Cameron is gone and Cameron left a fiance behind. I want to know, was Mary and Cameron shagging or nah? Were they doing the do?
They said it happened a long time ago when he was younger. So it happened a while ago, which also leads me to believe this transaction happened, this financial transaction happened a while ago too. It wasn't anything recent. And
how
I can maybe
younger was he? Would you think she was pulling the whole R. Kelly?
No, I mean, because she's not that old either. They look about the same age to me. They both are like in their 40s.
Go ahead. You click, and you like to go real quick over there.
How old is 39?
Mary is almost 50. Cameron looked like he was in his early 40s. So I mean,
that's not R. Kelly, okay? R. Kelly was in his 50s, and these girls was in their 16, in their teens.
I think R. Kelly is literally 54, dummy.
They still was up in their teens. I'm just like,
I agree. But I'm just saying, y'all think Mary was sleeping with Cameron, and then that transitioned into like, because here's the thing, that's a real thing. Like, you start sleeping with you're in a leader in the church like this, and you're now the first lady. This is your family church, and you start sleeping with one of the people in there. Like, you kind of get sucked into it all. So, do you think Cameron really mortgaged $30,000 or $300,000 of his home, because they said he had a nice home, child, and gave it to Mary?
Something definitely went down there, and um I'm just not sure about the timeline of when this happened, how long ago this happened. Was Mary the pastor at the church still, or was her grandmother? I mean, like, there's too many missing facts that we do not have. But we're on a time crunch today, and we're gonna have
Okay,
to move on to.
that's fine. That's fine.
But I mean, now Meredith and Lisa's situation, I feel like we finally. That's why Pop went to Florida and got stuck during the pandemic.
Listen, he said I was giving them time to be together. And Robert Sr. probably was down there doing his own thing in Florida as well, because Florida was wide open. Florida never closed, child, not even their legs.
He went down to bust it wide open.
Lay it low and spread it wide, in the words of Mama Evelyn, honey.
That is scandalous.
He came down to Florida, lay it low and spread it wide, sugar.
Yeah, that's crazy. Now, I feel like we finally get to what's going on with Meredith and Lisa, at least from Meredith's point of view. And I do love Meredith was the ultimate. While Lisa had this little binder, Meredith was just using real life instances and using Lisa to back up her own things. Now, Lisa, did I have your back there? Yep. Lisa, did I have your back then? I mean, for every situation, she came correct with facts. Even when she was with Jenny, she had facts.
But did you see Andy peeped it, right? Andy was like, I see where you're going with this. So when it came down to them talking about literally being together, and how she supported him, supported her or not, literally it was like, well, wait a minute, you just confirmed I supported you, but let me tell you how you didn't support me. Chick, you didn't even call me after my dad died.
Not only that, if I call one of my friends, especially a good friend of 10 years, and I say my parent is about to die, and that's 2 days ago, they died 2 days later, I don't hear from you, then 3 days later, I have to reach out to you to say that they're dead, I will feel a certain kind of way, because I'm just like, at that point, when I'm telling you I'm in a crisis situation, I need, if you are saying you're my friend, I need you there for me. And also, like she said, you knew that I was going through things. She read this text message that just kind of broke my heart, to be like, I was going through something. Please, if you care about my family, please defend them. And like, she totally ignored that. And so, like, I understand you're not my friend because your actions have not aligned with that. On top of that, you are hanging around with this bitch that I don't even mess with like that. So,
right.
She could have been. That's the understatement of the year. Lisa could have been a better friend. Lisa, and then even Heather talk about when her dad died. Lisa was texting her asking, was her dad okay? Girl, what? My dad is dead.
It's a clear example of just not being emotionally intelligent and like present. And I've been on, there's been a lot that's been happening lately, and I feel like people have been issuing apologies that are very much what I call hollow apologies. And I think, instead of trying to double down to be right, and what happens with Lisa is when she's getting hit with something, she wants to always come out right. So what happens is she's no longer listens. She goes into defense mode, which then is triggering. And I always tell people, don't meet resistance with resistance. And if somebody is saying this to you, you need to respond with a little bit more empathy. And like Whitney said to Lisa, you sometimes need to be quiet and you need to listen. And that's what Lisa gets herself in trouble with, because she doesn't do that enough. Let's see what the comments say. Why wasn't Lisa at the memorial service supporting Meredith? And they are supposed to be such good friends. I thought the same thing. The only thing I could just, think about was maybe it was in two different cities. And because, this was also happening while they were filming, Lisa had to film, and, Meredith was going to be a little bit later. So I felt like, that was something where possibly she could not show up. But that's in a classic example of when you can't show up for your friend, you send a huge ass basket of flowers. You're checking in with them every day. You're sending food over to the house. You're literally showing up how you can if you physically can't be there. And it does not sound like Lisa did any of that.
Lisa, if it's not about Lisa, it don't matter. That's what this all boils down to in any
Right.
interaction she has with anybody, right? And Lisa is a person that, like, even when people like Heather was like, I feel sorry for you. She was like, I feel sorry for me too. Like, it's always about her. So she can't even fathom, or she doesn't even have the capacity to be able to think beyond herself. And so part of that is kind of who she is. And, she didn't even return Jen's phone call after she was arrested because she was mad because she yelled at her. Like, how insensitive. Okay, now we're friends and we get into a little tiff. I may be upset, but you getting arrested trumps all that. All right, let's put this behind for a moment. Like, girl, are you okay? Like,
well, I'm reaching out. I'm gonna be, and let me tell y'all something. Don't let me be upset with y'all and y'all get arrested, because I'm gonna reach out and be like, "You okay? But what happened?
Hello?
Why you got arrested, Jeremy?"
Right? I'd be like, "Oh my god, what's going on? Why did they do that?"
Exactly. How did they even find out? I need to know all the tea. But I'm gonna tell you, because I felt like this episode was very much like Lisa in the hot seat, and you can see that a lot of it coming at her from multiple angles is starting to weigh on her. And are they trying to break her in a way? I think so, but I also think Lisa brought this on herself.
I don't know if they're trying to break her as much as hold her accountable, right? She never wants to be accountable, like you said.
Teach her a lesson.
It's, if you're gonna do all of this, you need to be accountable. We cannot be in relation with you if you don't want to be accountable. I much rather be like, yeah, I did it, and what? It needed to be out. Cameron was here, they was here, she needed to know the truth. Boom. And that's what it is. Like, I can respect that more as opposed to you crying and playing the victim and all of that. And even
that's the real Karen behavior, though. Come on. We're in Park City, Utah here. Like, this is very much Karen behavior. It's privileged Karen behavior. If it's not about her, she doesn't want to be a part of it. One minute she doesn't control a guest list, next minute she does. If it's not something that has to do with her Vita, hell, in this case, sis, you could even send a bottle of Vita over to Meredith to help her console her when her dad died. Get them all drunk. If you're not sending over a holiday ham or a funeral ham, send them a funeral box of tequila.
Hello, that's facts. And that's that on that. And so, she had this truth dump where she called her basically a whore from the 90s. And
that she was the hot mic moment.
Yes, where she was, she went in. And listen, anytime you are so quick or so able to go so quick to that, then you've been feeling this way for a long time. Like, you've been feeling it for a long time. She had way too much, and it went on. And like they said, like, you were doing that because you knew your mic was on.
Right.
Because after you did it, then you brought the mic out and be like, here, take this. But you knew the mic was on. So you knew that was going to happen. And your apology was whack. It didn't seem genuine or anything like that either. So
the logic wasn't there. The logic didn't make sense. You're telling me that you literally went off on this tangent and exploded because at the end of the day, you heard that Meredith was talking about your home renovations and that your home was shitty. Like, sis, that sends you over the edge. If you have that much venom, and that's what Meredith was also saying, is if you have that much venom ready to just spew at me, you are, to your point, were ready to explode, and you did it intentionally. And it's not up to me to accept your apology right when you want me to. Get out of my face, sis.
And the difficult thing about it is too, like, we've seen this for us happen weeks ago, but she had just seen this less than 48 hours ago.
Absolutely.
So imagine you watching, like, okay, I'm about to go to reading, let me see what ain't here yet, and you like,
right.
Let me rewind.
The hot mic moment was cowardly. she knew exactly what she was doing. And so I truly believe that this has fractured their friendship. And we'll see how it, it evolves for next season. But you know what, I can say this. Go ahead, Jeremy. What were you about to say?
I was gonna say, and I honestly believe she only became Jen's friend because she was mad at Meredith.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
and she knew that this was going to be something there, but she wants to play a victim like, oh no, I just wanted to be her friend. No, no, girl, you befriended Jen because you knew it would hurt Meredith.
Absolutely. Now, I agree with everything you just said. I think for me though, with this episode itself, they could have really done away with this episode. Like this reunion really could just be two parts. They could have taken half like the Mary stuff and part of the Lisa stuff and Meredith and have stuck it in episode 1, and the remainder they could have stuck in this next along with the guys, and they could have wrapped this up because it was a filler episode, and I felt like they tried to drag out Mary and the Lisa and Meredith thing long enough just to give us an hour's worth of content. But at the end of the day, it's like I could have just got away with 2 of these because Mary ain't here. So
This whole reunion did not need to be 3 parts. I feel like 3 parts like are just when we really need to talk about something, and then the 4th part is when we really need to talk about something. But 2 and done, we could be good, especially a season like this.
have you seen this yet?
What's that? Season 3.
This is the tentative Meet the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City season 3 cast. Y'all see these 2 new faces down here in the bottom?
Who's this receptionist down here with the glasses on?
We both got glasses on. You mean the black woman?
Is she a receptionist?
So I hate you. Did you call this woman a receptionist?
She is giving. Hello, thank you for calling.
Why are you so disrespectful?
Y'all, look at this photo, and y'all cannot tell me that this lady do not look like she is the top executive assistant at a Fortune 500 company. What?
So her name is I think it's, what is it, Tina Edwards, and she's black. We said that when Mary was going to leave, they needed to replace her with a black person, right?
Yeah,
so
I'm coming back.
Is one of is on her Instagram, Utah's homegirl. She's a Utah realtor, and hello, top 500. Maybe she can help Jen find a new home.
Yeah, no, homegirl, I need it. Well, Jen gonna have a new home very soon. So it's gonna be in New York penitentiary.
Oh, but did you see that Jen's trial got pushed back to July?
I saw that.
So she'll be able to film with the girls. So Jen is going to give us one more season before she goes to jail, according to Jeremy, y'all. I think Jen might end up getting away with it.
I don't know. Bravo, like, I'm sure they're kicking her in his face because they sped this up thinking that trial was going to be in March. Now they're like, we could have kept our regular schedule and got this information.
Listen, and Angie Katsanevas is the second housewife that they're saying got casted. So we have 2 new housewives to replace Jenny and Mary. Okay.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
I'm excited. I'm hopeful now for a season 3 because I was tapping out with Mary, but I'm gonna need Miss Mary to get on this edition. Is a podcast still a thing? Because I need to keep in touch some kind of way, because I don't know. I need some Mary Cosby in my life. I don't know if it's me on a plane and coming to the cult and becoming a member so that I can experience the facsimile of God and make her my best friend as well too. So I just don't know what it is, but I need to see Mary.
This is why you can't teach new people new words. So now Jeremy's going to be out here considering everybody to be a facsimile, okay? You know what?
B.Rich Jeremy facsimile of J-Rich Beauty coming soon.
See? If Jen doesn't take a plea deal, I agree with Jeremy that she's going to prison. Hey, everybody's pleading guilty. Steven, was it Steven? No, it was
oh shoot.
It started with the S.
Paul,
no, not Paul.
What is his name? Oh my gosh.
Him. The primary assistant pled guilty. He changed his plea to guilty, child. So we shall see if her and her Mardi Gras outfit will stay out of jail.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Stewart, thank you. Yes,
Stewart. Yep, I just found it. Still a little. Well,
All
y'all,
right, guys.
that's all I got. I don't got no more.
Me too. I hope this was great today, Jeremy.
What?
Thank you for bringing all the shade to the room as per usual.
No, never, never, never. Never.
Anyways, and that's on the facsimile of it all. Guys, we got to go. You know what to do. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, and leave us a comment. Most importantly, check the notifications and make sure they're turned on. Who loves you? I do. We'll see you next week for part 3 for Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Bye.